All right, eager students, it is Biology Exploration 1.11 Kingdoms of Life, Protists and Plants. All right, so we've already taken a look at domain Prokarya. Now we're going to focus on the first two kingdoms in Eukarya, Protists and Plants. All right, let's start with our junk drawer kingdom, the Protist. All right, as the domain suggests, these are all eukaryotic cells, and they are mostly unicellular. There are a couple of examples of multicellular protists, but for, us, if we say they're all unicellular, that works pretty good too. All right, it is a diverse kingdom. There's lots of different shapes and sizes, but like I say, mostly unicellular. Here's just an example of some of the protists that you can find out there. All right, how do they obtain their energy? Well, some of them are photosynthetic, that is, they use sunlight to make food, and others actually ingest their food. If you take a look at this image on the left, you'll see an amoeba ingesting its food. Those two little extensions off its body there are called pseudopodia, which means false feet. It's actually wrapping those around another smaller organism. It'll pull that inside the cell and digest it. On the right, we have euglena. They are green because they have chloroplast in them, which contain chlorophyll, which allows them to get energy from the sun. All right, some special attributes of this junk drawer kingdom is that they can resemble lots of other kingdoms. For example, some of them look like plants, some of them act like animals, and some of them behave kind of like fungi or mushrooms, okay? They can be parasitic and cause diseases. Some examples of that would be Giardia and Plasmodium, which causes malaria. They live in pretty much all environments, and they are an extremely diverse group, which means there's lots of different types. Here's a picture of Giardia. We have that here in Montana. Some people call it beaver fever. Basically, it gets into your intestines, wreaks havoc, and causes diarrhea. And here's a really diverse group of protists called diatoms. They can be extremely beautiful, like this star-shaped diatom on the right. All right, let's take a look at the plants. Like their domain, they are eukaryotic cells. They are always multicellular and very complex. And what I mean by complex is that they have different tissues in them, or cells that are specialized for specific jobs. They obtain energy through photosynthesis, and that's one of the common traits of all plants. And they dominate our landscape. When we look at Earth from space, one thing we can see is plants. Be it forest or grasslands, these things pretty much cover the planet because they are taking advantage of the biggest resource we have, and that is sunlight. All right, some special attributes of the plants is that they take in carbon dioxide and they make sugar and oxygen, which is great because we eat sugar and we breathe oxygen. So plants are extremely important to us. Their cells contain chlorophyll, which is what gives them their green coloration. And at the moment, there's about 400,000 known species of plants, and we always discover new ones. Some examples of plants, like big groups, would be things like trees, mosses, ferns, and flowers. Okay, join us next for 112 Kingdoms of Life, Animals and Fungi. I never know what to say. Fungi, both are okay.